time for Law and Disorder.
I demand a lawyer.
With attorney Jeff Kaufman on 101.1 WJRR.
We are Orlando partner at Kaufman and Lynn, local firm here in Orlando, specializing in personal injury. If you or someone you know has been injured in a slip and fall accident, something else, and you think you might need some assistance or guidance or suggestions, Jeff's a good resource for that. Couple ways to get a hold of him.
Jeff at whenyouneedus.com or pound 546 on your cell. Again, that's Jeff at whenyouneedus.com.
We've got some questions that you all have submitted. We're going to get to those here in a second. Jeff, a couple of events coming up related to your firm here in the next week.
Yeah, we got Argyle, the movie with Henry Cavill and John Cena. We're giving away free tickets for that for Thursday's show. Go to whenyouneedus.com/events and sign up there. We also have on the 8th, we do our second Thursday of the month comedy show downtown at Bonkers called All for the Money, which is a lot of fun.
All right.
So go to the same page.
So again, for the tickets for Argyle, you go to whenyouneedus.com/events and it'll tell you what they need in order to get you and up to 3 guests with you in to see Argyle for free.
We were just talking a little bit before we went on the air here. This week, Florida is going to move to the next vote on a bill that has already passed its first hurdle, and that's this legislation that could be enacted to keep young people 16 and younger, 16 and younger off social media.
Well, it requires parental permission.
And how it's a bipartisan bill. So you got both sides of the aisle advocating for this, and us here at Hammond-Ager level going, how in the world is this ever going to be enforced? The genie's already out of the bottle on this. The ship has sailed. Any other analogy you want to use.
Which is what we talked about a couple weeks ago with it.
Well, the sad thing is it's going to affect the people who are above 16. Because we're all going to have to do the right thing, and we're all going to have to register so that people know all the sites that you're dealing with right now can be technically held responsible. So what will happen is that if you have an account right now, you're going to have to go to a special website, put in the information, prove your age, while the people who this bill is supposed to protect, they're all going to have what they call VPNs. That means that they pop this thing on their computer, which makes them look like they're from Alabama or whatever country or state they want to be from, and they're going to be exempt from it.
I think a lot of people know what VPNs are after COVID.
I think, I think a lot of us can see the intention here to try to protect kids, and the mental situation is presented itself because these kids so many times getting bullied on these social media sites. That's understandable, but in reality, I just don't see how this gets enforced.
Imagine the next one. When you start saying, okay, this could be dangerous, so we have to prove an age. This could be dangerous. Now we're protecting kids from the whole internet right now. Now it'll be like, hey, could you show some ID to go in the mall? Could you show... I want you to know this is the
Papers,
door opener
please.
for so many weird stuff. And people are going to go, well, what about alcohol? There's a huge difference between alcohol and Facebook.
Well,
and I don't, honestly, my soul
can't drink until you're 21.
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. What we do is we create our own enemies sometimes. So all these politicians will go, oh, they're evil because this is the enemy now. The social media is the enemy. It's not that your parents aren't there for you.
Do you know how I deal with this, Kaufman? I just say, we'll see how it works out. Let's get to the questions.
There you go.
Doesn't that work out pretty well? Again, 225-263.
Taco always up for debate.
Totally. Well, you guys could go on forever about this. I mean,
well, it's a big story right now
that I don't see going through. Jeff.
It's going through.
It's going. That's the story.
They signed on Wednesday.
I just closed my eyes.
Taco's going to go, why do I have to sign up for my...
Taco, could you stand up and do the ostrich, please, for us?
Exactly. This is what you got to do.
He's the ostrich.
You go.
Lives his life with his head in his sand.
I am currently the ostrich with his head in the sand.
Yes. He's going to go, I can't get on my MySpace page. Okay.
Jeff, is it legal for your employer to track you via an Apple AirTag without your knowledge or consent?
No, they can track their own vehicles, but they can't slap a tracker on you for the hell of it.
But I think that's
But they can put one in their vehicles.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And if you're in a vehicle, keep in mind, a company vehicle, there's a good chance that they are
law
tracking
enforcement
you.
can't do it. A lot of other people
And that's the
can't
same
do it.
way we talk about, a lot of delivery folks now have those in-cab cameras and stuff. If it's a company vehicle,
We had one last week with a trucker who was, let me go. Jeff Kaufman. I was involved in a car accident. My passenger is going after the other driver's insurance. Is there anything I can go after? Is there anything I can do to go after my passenger? Why would you go after your passenger?
I don't know. Did your passenger cause the accident?
Yeah, did they grab
the fact is this: if he's a passenger in your car and there's nothing, he did. I mean, the question is, if he's committing fraud and he's going after your insurance, yes. But him going after the other guy's insurance has nothing to do with you.
Was this passenger hurt?
Obviously so, because he's going after the other guy's insurance.
Okay.
And that happens all the time with the passenger in the car. But unless he grabbed your wheel and drove you into it. But if he's going after your insurance and he's committing fraud, yeah, absolutely. You give that information over to your insurance company and they'll go deal with it.
But he's going after the other guy's insurance. That's just strange. Well, you know what I'd do? I would definitely just not do anything if he's not going after your insurance. Yeah. Which one were you pointing at? This one?
Yeah, I just saw that one.
Are you able to change lawyers more than halfway through a personal injury case without having to pay the original lawyer legal fees?
You can, but they can put a lien on the file for their costs in a situation like this. So some attorneys will let it go depending on the situation. But yes, an attorney can lien the file. Give me a call and I'll tell you what you're looking at.
Okay, it's Jeff at When You Need Us.
People don't do the work. A lot of times you leave an attorney because he's not returning phone calls. He does something that has basically let you know that he's not your lawyer.
What does lien on the file mean?
A lien means that they can say, listen, I'm owed money. I did this many hours on this case, and when the case settles, the new attorney you have is going to have to put aside this money for me. Mm-hmm. Now, some attorneys, when they take those cases over, they expect to do that, and they cut their fees or do something like that. But in a situation like this, it depends on really why you're moving over. It happens all the time. So give me a call and we'll talk about it.
And again, that's Jeff at whenyouneedus.com or pound 546 on your cell. I'll hit them back directly with your info too, Jeff. That's the changing lawyers. Here we go. Jeff, are you going to MegaCon?
MegaCon. No, I'm not going to MegaCon. The MegaCon was taken over a couple years ago by a company. I'm not going to mention the company, but it's an out-of-country company, and they made it really difficult on people who have been there for years. So I kind of boycott them and only go to the big ones like San Diego and New York.
Okay. Question for Mr. Kaufman. My daughter turns 18 in a few months.
Wow.
And child support ends. So even better for him.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Taken automatically out of the check through courts. Okay, the child support is. Do I need to file any paperwork or will it happen automatically?
It depends. Your last pay. If the court order says you get to stop paying exactly at 18 years old, I would contact the Department of Revenue, which is, I believe, where it's coming out of, and make sure. Because what you don't want to do is say, I'm stop payment, and you're one or two payments behind, and you're the one held in contempt. So you're going to want to check with the Department of Revenue if you're paying through there, or read the order really well.
Yeah. Definitely look it over.
Or call your past attorney. He'll be able to tell you.
You don't want to give money away, period.
Got time for one more.
The business I bought my CPAP machine from changed hands. I went to buy filters and was told in no certain terms that me or my cash were not welcome without insurance. Can they deny selling me medical devices when I have cash in hand but no insurance?
They're a private company. They can say, they can tell you to pound sand whenever they want. It's crappy. It reminds me of that guy who bought that drug and then jacked it up by a couple $1,000s.
Oh, Farmer Bro.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, CPAP user here, helpful hint. Technically, a lot of the stuff that goes with the CPAP and the machine itself needs a prescription, but there's online resources where you really don't. If you need some filters,
you can get some filters.
But you don't quite know the quality of these filters, too.
I'm about 20 years into this. They seem to be working fine.
I'm just saying that, there are a couple of these that, these you never know. Go to make sure it's a reputable place.
Or just hit Lynch, on his email.
Don't hit Lynch.
He'll sell you some on the dark web.
But I also represent my boys every once in a while, and, don't.
No, that's such. I totally hear what they're saying there, and that's ridiculous.
Other outlets for you to buy them online. Again, Jeff has the premiere going on this Thursday for Argyle. If you want to get into that, it's you and up to 3 guests. You just have to go to WhenYouNeedUs/events. WhenYouNeedUs/events, and any questions that you texted in and we didn't get to, I'll print up and I'll hit back the ones with your direct email, which is jeff@whenyouneedus.com.
I heard you're opening for Jim Florentine this weekend. Is that accurate?
Yeah. I guess because I did this national show the other day, and the video got out, so I was invited to open for Jim Florentine at Bonkers downtown.
Wow, congrats!
That's awesome.
Friday and Saturday, so that's kind of cool.
He's a good dude.
Yeah,
he is.
Crank Anchors. Yeah.
All right, we got the commercial-free Workday Rock Block coming up here in just a few minutes. Jeff Kaufman from Kaufman & Lynn. Reach out to him if you need his services. Good resource to use. We'll catch you next Monday, Jeff.
Take care, guys.